Welcome to ExxonMobil Presents Festival of Manufacturing, co-powered by Ace Micromatic Group.
So I think in manufacturing, if you set out to do something which is exciting, everybody comes in. So we had to, literally every single vendor we know had to reinvent and create new library of their equipment to cater to this plant. So for me, I've always been a passion-driven person. For me, it's always exciting. You know, unless it's exciting, I don't feel like doing it. So for me, I was very clear that after 12, I want to do mechanical engineering. So no other engineering. So for me, more or less, I think in my mind, I knew that it excites me to work on machines, to imagine things, to create things. And manufacturing kind of enabled it. And today, when I reflect back, it's so amazing to imagine that today we have come so far in manufacturing, that too in India. And we have a plant, the world's largest plant in Punjab, in a city, Hoshiarpur, which probably nobody has heard that of. And there we are manufacturing tractors which are being sold globally. We are #1 exporter from India. So our tractors are being used not only in Asia, but in Europe, in US. And you discover that even if you build something which looks good, it needs to perform as well. The build quality of it, the fit and finish of it, the attributes which customer want need to excel, and it to be better than competition. And how do we achieve that is through understanding manufacturing. So I think for me, the seed was creating something which customers should feel happy about, personally, I should also feel happy about. And to create that, I had to learn literally everything. I mean, from engines to transmissions to hydraulics to sheet metal to plastic to everything to make that wish or that dream to make a good-looking, a perfect tractor a reality. See, I think success in manufacturing is slightly different because normally if you talk about just pure sales or purely business administration, these problems are not tangibly in front of you. These are more strategies, more reviews, more data sets, more scenarios you're building up. Manufacturing is a very different situation where everything is tangible. If a component is not being able to build, it's a tangible problem. If there's a tolerance mismatch, it's a tangible issue. If the process is mismatched, it's a tangible issue. So in manufacturing, the working ability to understand tangible, to be there on the forefront and to resolve them. A career in manufacturing is a journey to build an ability to solve problems on the ground which are tangible and you cannot blame on anybody else. Manufacturing is not at all a task-oriented thing for me. It's something which even takes, to build a good-looking sketch is easy, but to convert that into manufacturing requires much more hours of core engineering, core imaginative to fix it out. So I think I love it. For the part of it enables me to be creative, it enables me to be imaginative. If it was not any of these things, if it's just pure, so we are confusing assembly with manufacturing, whereas assembly is the end baby of fixing everything in manufacturing. So I think for me, manufacturing is much larger than even creativity or creating an idea. It requires much more creativity to succeed in manufacturing than that. In manufacturing, if you have the ability, if you have the setup, if you have the know-how, we have built the ability to give all attributes together. Why we are successful today? If I design a tractor, we don't need to think about just cost. It has to be cost effective, yes. At the same time, can it have the best features, best technology? Yes. Can it be the best looking? Yes. So I think amalgamation of everything is what is possible today. And that's the reason we are seeing what we're seeing around in auto and tractor. And that's one of the key reasons why we're successful, I think, both in domestic and export, is we don't cherry pick the attribute today. I think the most heartwarming for me was the most tough also for all of us was the COVID time. And we have never seen our plant being shut. I mean, apart from weekend or maintenance breakdown, I've never imagined a plant being shut, and we're not used to that life of having a shut plant. So in that time of difficulty, when seeing everything being brought to a standstill, and to restart it, I mean, it was an impossible task because each state had different rules. We had to make a tractor from parts from everywhere. Each vendor had different rules, a different set of problems. And the confidence of workers, confidence of employees, confidence of everybody to come back to the shop floor to build. I think it was an impossible hurdle of that time. Unless a person is given that freedom and the trust to operate in, you don't, really showcase what your skill set is, or unless you fail, you don't really succeed, that's the way. So I think the family has been very kind that they have given me a freedom and flexibility to move in the spaces I want to move in. And I've been very clear that if the trust they have shown to me, I have to give something in return. And that return is that I'm very result oriented. I'm very committed as a person. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. There's no second to be that this happened because of this or this happened because of this. I'm very clear from that perspective. And I have it deep in me that I have seen that part. It was not easy. They literally sacrificed their own youth. They had no social circle. They have nothing. They have nothing. Only thing is one thing: work, 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 work. For a good 40 years of their life, just did that, back to back, day back, day back. So I just know this thing that they sacrificed their, let's say, 3 of them sacrificed so many of their youth, adulthood. Now it's my responsibility. If they created this out of nothing, they have created a platform, they have sown the bead. Now it's up to me what I do with it, and I can't go wrong, because if I go wrong, that is literally burning away hard work of so many people. So to me, a very clear motivation is I have to work and take this to a level where I feel that I have worked equally hard to them, and I can also feel that, okay, when my children will look at me, they will also get inspired that this is the way of life. So this was my exact question to my dad, that will I fall in love with the tractor? Because if I don't fall in love with it, I can't do what I do from my heart. So my dad just said, wait and watch. He just said that. So I think at that moment I realized that nothing can be taken for granted. No matter how your past is successful, you build a healthy business, you build a financial sustainable business, but still there would be scenarios where you'll have to take a conscious call and call it a day and move forward. So I think that failure taught me that do not take success for granted. It is not granted that we'll be successful year on year. It is not guaranteed that we'll survive 10 years, 20 years from now. So for me, every day, every year, I am most alert in terms of external or internal threats. When I'm in office, I get energy when I meet my team. I get energy when we create something together. When I go home, I get energy from my immediate family. So I don't have space left to have more energy in this body at neither time. So I think if internally you don't get that energy where you work or where you stay, of course, as a human being, you need that excitement, that energy. Then you look forward to in a group of friends over there. So I've been lucky enough that my work, which is major chunk of my life, it is so exciting and so fulfilling that it fills me with energy every single time. How do I start from the resources I have? How do I create something out of my own? Everybody is thinking, मेरा idea बहुत अच्छा है, मेरी pitch बहुत अच्छी है. I just need to brush up on my English, brush up on my presentation skill, फंडा मारूंगा, investor मुझे पैसा देगा. So I think we are taking people away from the core. What made India, what India is our ability to create from nothing. So that ability, if we miss, or if that becomes, lesser and lesser over time, I think that's what's gonna hit. You would not see then so many new companies propping up. So I think my one wish would be that youngsters start creating something, no matter it is small, rather than just focusing on creating a mega pitch. So I think Make in India forced everybody in India, which is an Indian manufacturer, to face global OEMs at a pricing which was their DNA or their strength. So I think that enabled us to up our game, to up our product offerings, that enable the vendor ecosystem. The biggest upswing has been in the vendor ecosystem, who are now creating their ability to produce those technologies, those parts. So I think Indian OEMs have survived so far successfully, and we have not become where only imported is selling, Indian products are not selling anymore. Rather, even if you look at cars or tractors, Indian players are the king, more or less everywhere. So I think this growth has remained because of opening up the industry. Make in India forced all MNC brands enter into India. And I think we are more than ready to face more and more of these technologies coming into India. The day is gone, you forget it in the morning. You know, for me, it doesn't really creates a lasting impact. For me, the creating lasting impact is the milestones which we set for ourselves. So in manufacturing, we started with 40,000 tractors. The biggest achievement was to do 100,000. We did that. Next, 150. We did that. Next, 200. We're going to do that. Next, 300,000. We're preparing for it. So for me, these are the milestones, or these are the physical, tangible achievements which really excite me more than any other award or anything else. I would be a happy guy in my own plant creating that 200 tractor in a year. I'll be the happiest person in the world. Even if nobody says anything, I will be most happy.
Watch his inspiring story only on festivalofmanufacturing.in, an initiative by the Times Group.